Hi, everyone. This is acyuta-bhava from Nightlight Astrology. Happy Friday, everybody. Today, we're going to take a look at Mercury, who is moving into the conjunction with Uranus and then catching up with Venus as they both pass through the square to Saturn. I've taken a long time this week to look at Venus. Since the opening of this moon cycle, we've taken a lot of time to look at Venus, especially Venus through Uranus and Venus squaring Saturn. But Mercury is getting in on the mix this weekend, so we're going to take a look at that today. Before I do that, I want to remind everybody my new class, Ancient Astrology for the Modern Mystic, is open for registration. We begin in June. It's a one-year program in Ancient Astrology. I'm going to just flash my website up on the screen for you to see so you can check it out. Go to my website, nightlightastrology.com. Go to the courses page, go to the first year course page. You can learn all about my program, and you can learn all the different tuition options that I have. You can take it from anywhere in the world. You can be in live classes where you can download all of the material and take it on your own pace. And we have an early bird payment. You can save about $500 off if you sign up before the class starts. Also, we have a payment plan and tuition assistance for people who need a little extra help. So check those things out. I'd love to see some of you in class. And let me know if you have any questions about the course, info@nightlightastrology.com. Okay, here is the transit page. And what I want to point out is the fact that, okay, we've been spending a lot of time with Venus, Uranus, Venus, Saturn. That's still perfecting over the weekend, but Mercury's getting in on this now too. So between today, April 23rd, and tomorrow, April 24th, Mercury is going to pass through the conjunction with Uranus. It is then going to conjoin Venus and go through the square with Saturn. So Mercury is triggering the exact same dynamic that Venus is between Uranus and Saturn. And if we just step this forward another day, by Sunday, you'll see that both will have passed through the square to Saturn and Mercury will have conjoined Venus. So that's quite a series of events. And the way I would describe it would be like this. When you have Mercury in Venus's sign, and getting together in a conjunction with Venus, first of all, that is like that's like a flashing neon sign that says agreement, agreement. Venus is the planet of agreement, and Venus is the planet that affirms things just like Jupiter does, says yes to them. And Venus also tends to take unlike things and coordinate them, like someone who's really good at just taking, like, here's the bunch of stuff, now make the living room look nice. And they can just wizard a whole bunch of different decor and make it look really beautiful. So Venus and ultimately this weekend is headed toward Mercury and Venus getting together and harmonizing something. That could be pleasant words, pleasant speech, a contract negotiation, words with a friend. So if relational dynamics have been tense, or if there have been, constraints on coming to terms with things, or if there's just been a feeling of pressure in relationships and even a feeling of hardness or coldness, you're going to see that harmonizing effect around mind, speech, relationships, communication is going to come through by the end of the weekend, by Sunday. So hang in there and try to be patient, because I feel like right now, one of the lessons that I feel like I'm getting as I'm watching this transit unfold is like, say few things, but say them well, and bide your time, because likely this any kinds of tensions that you're feeling in relationships or places where you're trying to reach agreement, but you're just pushing too hard, naturally will take care of themselves probably by the end of this weekend. Or a larger life lesson is just to say some things just take time to solve themselves. It's sort of like, like if I just like I'm thinking, of course, about parenting stuff all the time. And if I just walk out of the room and take a few minutes to breathe and then go back in, I've noticed that my whole perception of the problem, my kids' whole perception of the problem is instantly different. And so, we have a fixed Earth sign with Venus going through conjunction with Uranus and square to Saturn. There's a lot of, the need for freedom, the need for a breakthrough, originality, creativity. Venus is like on fire right now, just, really strong and making demands about freedom, but also looking for peace at the same time, which can be a little contradictory. And then Saturn's in there and could be kind of uncompromising or hard. Okay, well, if that's the case, it's probably not a good time to try to insist that things get done in just one way. It's almost like the compromise will present itself in our lives if we just sit back a little bit. Like I'm just telling myself, like, by Sunday I'll be fine, because and I'm talking right now about, for example, like trying to negotiate. We're moving into our new house, trying to negotiate and set up contractors to come in and do certain things, paint here, patch up something there, electrical, a few things that need to be done, all that kind of stuff. And I find that if I'm just like pushing, that yeah, agreement might be found, but by the in the meantime, like everyone that's in my like life car with me, they all look like Doc from Back to the Future. Their hair is just like they've been electrocuted by the intensity, and I'm like, isn't it wonderful? It's all happening. They're all like, they're all just like fragged out because I'm trying to get things done, but throttling so hard. So you have to be very careful of that with Venus and Uranus, where the desire for peace and beauty, anything that Venus wants that's like beautiful or desirable, is potentially a little bit more white knuckled than it may appear, or you may unconsciously be seized by a desire that's way more intense than you realize. And the point is that by Sunday, Venus and Mercury coming together, having gone through the square to Saturn, the conjunction with Uranus, if we've waited, will probably present us with some really novel solutions and a much more peaceful and kind of methodical way of getting things done, and trust that time does its own work. That's what I'm getting from this, because the Uranus dynamic wants to go really quickly. The Saturn dynamic wants to pull back and be more conservative. But literally by this weekend, whereas everything may feel really frenetic with those planets today, tomorrow, by Sunday, Venus and Mercury come together and they've gone through that whole gauntlet. Which we'll go through again next week. So with the sun. So at any rate, let me just show you that really quick before we end for today. I just wanted everyone to know that Mercury could make all of this both a little bit more intense, because Mercury tends to be like a busy marketplace or a crowded airport. It's just lots of bustling, and you almost need like an air traffic control tower of your own to deal with like Mercury Uranus, because it's so exciting, and things happen that are so unexpected and sudden and bright, and a lot of epiphanies can be had. But then Saturn's coming in and could make you really, really rigid about it, or inflexible, or you could meet with some immediate frustrations in trying to execute things. So good to see, like, there it is, this little lineup right there, perfecting by Sunday, with Mercury and Venus being like, okay, agreement. And then next week, you can see the sun is going to go through the exact same thing. Now, that's a whole different scenario, but that's what we're going to be looking at next week. So more on that soon. All right, so I just wanted to do a brief update today about Mercury and Venus and Saturn and Uranus going into the weekend. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Feel free to leave your comments in the chat box as you're going through your weekend. I'd love to hear your stories and how you see this energy unfold. I develop like a little encyclopedia in my head by reading the stories that you share in the chat. It's good for all of us, if you're an astrologer, to hear lots of people putting three-dimensional flesh on the astrological transits. So, okay, hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday. Bye, everyone.